Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. I thought I would just come on here because I have a lot of updates that it's just hard to put into, characters on Instagram where I don't want to do this huge story. So I thought I'd just come on here and update you guys because I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of people are curious. Hi. We are in Texas, as you can tell. I have not worn this since the Grey Cup parade. You can see it's crooked. There was definitely alcohol involved, so that's why it's crooked. Speaking of Grey Cup, we got this bad boy. I don't know if it's gonna zoom in. I hope it zooms in. Anyway, it is just so beautiful. All of the food that I cooked, all of the 3 a.m. pickups at, the charter plane, was all worth it for this. I didn't put on any pants, I didn't hit people, but behind the scenes, so I'm just wearing this thing everywhere. It's so beautiful. Anyway, yeah, so Texas is great. We are settling in. Craig's job is going really well, which we're very blessed that he just has a job, but he is loving it. My job, I work from home, so it's been kind of nice to kind of get settled, even though I'm not really unpacking because I don't know if you saw, but we put money down on a house. The Austin market is booming. A lot of Californians, just everybody is coming to Austin right now. So there wasn't a lot of inventory and we knew we were going to spend a lot, so why not build the house that you want? So we should break ground in December and then we should be in by June, July, I'm hoping. They haven't given us an exact date yet. They actually haven't bought our lot. So we're really early. But getting excited. We have our design meeting next month, and yeah, it's very overwhelming, all of the things. I mean, it's a very, I'm not complaining about it because I'm picking out countertops and cabinets and all. I mean, it's very fun, but it is really stressful. So but yeah, that's what's going on in Texas. Aside from that, I wanted to update you guys on infertility, on IVF. There's a lot of things moving. I know some of you guys saw I flew into Arizona yesterday, in and out. I wasn't able to get my hysteroscopy a couple weeks ago. We just had an incident and it was just better that I waited for it. So I ended up just getting it scheduled, and luckily my cycle showed up finally after 7 weeks. I was on an estrogen patch and it just kind of threw everything off. But I trusted my surgeon and I just kind of went with his treatment protocol, so it ended up working out perfectly. So I flew in and then he did a hysteroscopy, which basically is putting a camera up into your uterus. I had never had one of those. I mean, I've had so many different procedures, but I had never had one, so I didn't really know what to expect. And TMI, but I have a tilted uterus, so a lot of the procedures that are done are very painful because it's just hard to get to it. So it was not very fun at all. But what he did find was my uterus, which in my last video I kind of talked to you guys about. My tubes were they were totally scarred, fluid filled, and they thought that my uterus was healthy just based off of what my other surgeon in Canada saw. So I thought my ovaries are good and my uterus was good. But in this last surgery 8 weeks ago, I found out that it wasn't. I found out I had like 30 plus polyps. It was red, inflamed. He ended up telling me right when I was getting out of surgery about it, so I was like high and out of it, and he was like, your uterus was terrible, and I'm like, what the heck? So anyway, I've had time to process it, and but I was very pleasantly surprised. He just said, it looks really good, it's healing really well. I say 80% because he didn't really give me a percentage, but he did find one polyp, so I do have to get that removed before they do any sort of embryo transfer in IVF. But one is good because polyps form from excess estrogen, like bigger polyps, or inflammation, and the fact that there was only one and it was like higher, it may have been there from before and he just didn't get it in surgery. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm not excited about another procedure, but the fact that my clean eating. I did not go keto, by the way. I'm just eating keto desserts if I want dessert. So I've been, using monk fruit sweetener as opposed to sugar or any of those other like stevia or whatever. So, but I've just really been cleaning up my diet, and I'm just happy to know that it's actually helping. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't, but it just is the fruits of my labor. It's nice to see that. So anyway, so he said I was cleared for IVF. Aside from needing to get the polyp removed, he basically graduated me from his office, which was great. Every time I've seen him, it's not been under good circumstances, even though he's amazing. So anybody in Arizona or New Mexico, if you need a gynecological surgeon or an OB, he's your guy. Message me. I love him. Anyway, so graduating from IVF, or graduating to IVF, I would say, it was, I went in not very optimistic. The last couple of weeks, my stomach hasn't been feeling really well. I've been just feeling a lot of like inflammation and pain and like in tugging, and I know that's a part of the post-op process because I've already had 2 other surgeries. I don't know. I think I was just, with my clean eating, I was expecting it to be better, but I think that's an unrealistic expectation. So, and now that I know it's not super red and inflamed, I'm really happy about that. So he wanted me to wait 1 more cycle before I started IVF, but I had updated you guys that we chose an IVF clinic. Well, I would like to just update people that are considering IVF clinics. I'm just going to give you this information that I had to kind of deal with. So I talked to you guys that I found one I didn't like, and then now I found one I really like, and he convinced me, because we were going to be flying to Arizona to do this IVF, and he convinced me, oh, people do it all the time, it's no big deal. So when my cycle finally showed up last week, I messaged them and I said, look, I'm ready to start. I'll start birth control, whatever. And I found a lot of stuff that he didn't tell me. I don't know if he didn't want to overwhelm me or he was just trying to sell me on his clinic. But what I found out was Craig would have to be there for the week going for the egg retrieval. I asked him, and he only said like 1 or 2 days that he would need to take off. And obviously when I messaged him when I was ready to start, the clinic said, no, your husband has to be there for a week. Well, he just started a new job. There's no way that he can be in Arizona for a week. So that was kind of crappy. And then the whole, putting me on birth control for 2 months, and then trying to sync my cycle basically with all the other people in the clinic so they can do egg retrievals at the same time, which is more money. It's making your body do something. I mean, IVF is already, you're overproducing eggs and it's not natural, but now you're going to mess with my cycle in all these different ways to like fit your schedule. I talked to one of my girlfriends who's going through IVF right now, and she was talking to me about how she chose a clinic. So I think we've decided not to go with them in Arizona. I wasn't too impressed with that. They do have very good success rates, but also I would like Craig to be more involved in the process. Aside from, I would have to schedule all my other appointments here, and I would have to do that rather than my clinic doing it for me. So if I'm paying all like $20,000 to you, yeah, you should schedule all my appointments. So anyway, now we are looking for IVF clinics here in Austin. There's a couple, I'm going over all the success rates there's a government website for that, as well as just, how they treat, is it a fresh transfer, a frozen transfer? I need to educate myself more. So I would love to, start around the same time, like in November, if he'll naturally or she will work with my cycle. But we'll see. I don't know. I think I need, my surgeon thinks I need a month. I feel like I need a month before I start sticking any needles, in these ovaries. So, yeah, that's the update. I am very excited about the future. There's still some unknowns. IVF does not guarantee you a baby. At least it's steps forward, though. As well, getting a house here and getting settled, we can start the fostering process, start the adoption process. We've always wanted to do it. On our first date, we talked about it. So if IVF doesn't work out, we're very hopeful for adoption and or fostering. So having a house will just make that a lot easier. Yeah, so that's the update. I will update you guys more, as we start IVF, and I'm going to document all of IVF just so people are aware of what it takes and what $20,000 looks like in, shots and appointments, and yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. I'm very happy that this uterus is healing, and I'm going to continue this clean eating. So thank you guys for all your messages, and I wanted to also talk to you, if you follow me because you're going through infertility. I just recently did a post about a group. It's a small group that I've been a part of for a while. It's 3 women, or 2 other women and me, and we just meet informally. We kind of just talk about our struggles, and we all have been on different walks. So I wanted to encourage you. We are opening up the group, and we'd love to have you. It's very informal, every other week, about an hour, just getting to know women who suffered the same way. And they have been such a blessing to me this last year, just going through things and really pulling me out of holes and just encouraging me and listening. So I want to invite you to our group. It is next week. So just send me a message if you're interested. I have a couple other girls that I already invited, and they're coming. So it's growing, and I'm so excited about it. But if you think that you could benefit from a group like this, it's starting small, and I think we want to kind of keep it relatively small. But yeah, we'd be more than happy to have you. So thank you guys so much. I will see you later.